GM. Happy WoW Wednesday, everyone. On today's episode of WoW Wednesday, we will be interviewing Mika Newton, who is a WoW holder, but also an award-winning performer, singer, actress, and so much more. She's had a career spanning over the last 15 years, and we're very excited to dive deep into her story. I'm just gonna look real quick and make sure that she's in here so that we can accept her. I see a lot of our community members in the chat already. GM. Everyone in the comments is asking when Mika. Yeah, me too. I just accepted her request. Hello.
Hi.
GM, Mika. Happy WoW Wednesday.
Happy WoW Wednesday. I'm so excited to be here today and talk about NFTs, about us women, and just how much we love NFTs and why.
Yeah, likewise. We're so grateful to have you here on the show as our guest. I was just telling the audience about how you've had this amazing career and that you're an award-winning actor, actress, singer, and so much more with a career spanning over 15 years back home in Ukraine. I know that you're based in LA now, but I would love for you to introduce yourself to both of our communities and tell them a little bit about your story.
Well, I was born in Ukraine, in west of Ukraine, in a very little city, Burshtyn, and then I started singing when I was 5, like up to 9 years old, like annoying my parents because like my mom was a nurse and my dad was just like repairing and painting cars, so no one was a musician. So I had to work hard to prove them that I'm talented. So then they hired me, my first composer and vocal teacher, and I started competing in singing competitions. And when I was 15, I moved to Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. Unfortunately, now you all know probably all the cities because of the war in Ukraine, unfortunately. But yeah, I started studying singing and like acting and everything. So then I signed my first contract because I won another competition when I was 16. So since I was 16, I'm working as full-time singer, musician, and yeah, was building career. And I know that it's not easy to be an artist, so I got very excited and happy when NFTs appeared, because what a great opportunity for talented artists to showcase their talent through internet, through Web3, right? And now we can own the piece of art, and I don't think a lot of people even understand how awesome is that we can own piece of art. We can do wherever we want. We can put it in ads anywhere we want. And I think the biggest, what made me really happy, that every single time the NFTs is getting sold, the artist gets a little bit of money for their talent. And I love that. And I think that's what we should concentrate more than just keep flipping NFTs. You know, people want to make this little money. And so, yes. And I've been a holder of World of Women. I have 2 women. I mean, probably like since day 2 or 3 of the project. It was super, super early.
Yeah, I think I remember when you got your WoW, because it was a cool blue WoW, and at the time it was my favorite trait.
I love
and
blue.
Just like both WoWs are gorgeous. Your story is extremely inspiring. I specifically love what you said about creator royalties. I think it's a very important part of Web3 culture, and it's amazing to see that you are also in favor of it, because I know that back in like, I think mid last year, there was a very big argument about, you know, all these platforms revoking royalties. But tell me a little bit more about like how you got into Web3, like what's the story and what was your first minting experience like, and
it was
all of that.
awesome. My first minting experience was in a real gallery here in Venice,
Oh,
the
wow.
Citizen. Yes, art block.
Yeah.
So my friend Irina, the first time I've heard about NFTs was obviously through Gary Vee. I'm a huge fan of his since 2014, I think, when he was like not even 1 million followers on Instagram. He was just like this guy who always motivates, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love how he thinks. So he was like my inspiration. And then he was the one who started talking about NFTs. And then my friend Irina, she got her ape super early, like just when they appear. Like, can you imagine ape super early? Yeah. So she introduced me. She said, hey, I have this gallery in Venice, Los Angeles, and they're minting in real life. You guys should come and see. So I was like, interesting. And I told my husband, should we go? Because Irina is very progressive. She's always researching. She always into something new. So she introduced me to my first NFT, which was Crypto Citizen Venice collection. So that's how I got it. And then obviously it all started from there. And then Pudgy Penguins. I still hold my Pudgy. She actually gifted me. It was like week old and they were like almost going nowhere. And so I got and I was holding, everyone is keep laughing at me because they say like, you're diamond hands. Like, are you going to start making money on NFTs? I was like, you will see one day. I'm just holding the projects I really believe in. Obviously World of Women, when they were in the highest, and like my husband even like, Mika, should we like, do you want to sell your women? Like we can profit. Like, no, but this blue one's so pretty. And you get attached to the art, you know, and it's almost like you have a little piece of you in that art now. And so I never sold anything really. I mean, some little here and there, but like from their OG projects, I never sold anything.
Wow. Truly diamond-handed, I must say. Like that is truly something. So what made you join World of Women in particular? Like,
Of course,
what
the art. For me, I'm very visual and I'm an artist. So for me, when I see something different, something unique, and that's what I thought World of Women are. And obviously that it was literally one of the first women projects. And I was like, wow, could be a history. And the way it looked and the way your community started building right on like Discord and everything. So holding NFTs is, for me, it's not just the art as well, but the community and all the talks on Discord. That's my favorite, when they discuss something, argue, gossip, like it's a whole world. And that is very, very fun for me.
Yeah, shout out to the WoW Discord. I know that many of them are watching this live and also keeping the Discord open on the side so they can text. So much love
Yes.
for all of you who are doing both.
I love you all, guys, because that's a lot of work, you know. Some people really sharing some important information for us, you know. There's so many scam as well, you know, and how careful we all should be. And of course, Twitter. I've never been on Twitter that much since all the NFTs, like in 2021. I thought Twitter is dead to me. But once you started, you know, reading everything about NFTs, new projects, learning and what others have to say, of course, you just like Twitter, Discord, and it's just like, for me also, because I never thought as a business, it wasn't too stressful, because I know a lot of people are getting so stressful because they lose money. And I think what Gary says and what I truly think, we should really think about more as an art and as an investment, but don't invest money you cannot lose. You know, I think that's very important to know, because I think when everyone is getting so hyped and everyone wants to buy it, flip it, that's when you get hurt, you know. But it's way more than just flipping the art. It's art, you know. You can print it and put it on the wall and enjoy it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think artists have, you know, truly flourished in Web3 compared to Web2. I don't think they were ever compensated as well as they deserve to then. If you had
Oh,
to give,
no.
yeah.
It's so hard to make it in any business. It's really hard. And for artists, like, it's so hard, you know, to get into the museums or, you know, just do exhibitions or whatever. It's impossible. And Web3 just gave this little platform where they can shine and show the talent, and really talented people are succeeding.
Yeah. And you can literally make your own museums in the metaverse.
That's
Like,
what I liked as well, you know.
yeah, with platforms like On Cyber, I think it's become a lot easier to just create your own space, create your own personal brand, and then eventually promote it to the level where you have ownership over anything that you create, and you can choose when or where to amplify it. So
And
if you
that's
had to
the
give,
best.
as a collector, if you had to give advice to artists, what would it be?
I think the team is very important.
Mm.
you know, because we are very creative people and we think about creativity. Our brain, like I have experience now because I've built a career right in different country, and now I am like working on my new album, and again, basically you're starting over in a different country. So because of that experience, I'm thinking about so many details, and I understand that my career depends on a great team. It's not me being talented, cute, sing well. It's more than that, you know. It's like a whole package. And for any artist, you know, when you, especially when you succeeding, some artists, and I've seen that, getting greedy. They don't want to hire a great manager, you know, they don't want to hire a great team, they don't want to hire a great PR. But all community, we need that, you know, we need the team that's gonna take care of us, because that's a lot of people. It's basically like you are sitting at the stadium every day, a little stadium.
Pretty much. That's a
And you
great.
have your fans, you know, so you better entertain us. As a musician, we have to keep releasing songs, we have to keep sending love to our fans, you know, and making sure they're engaged and making sure they feel loved. The same with the artists and NFT. And I see a lot of people are getting greedy. A lot of artists, they make this, because I don't think, you know, a lot of artists expected to get their project to that level of success.
Right.
Then they get greedy, and then they get tired because it's overwhelming after a couple of months, and then whole community sits and wait. You cannot do this to people.
Yeah.
You know. And that's, I think, my main like little tip and suggestion to the artists is, make sure when you're starting your project, or when you already started and successful, just remember that we all depend on people. You cannot you know, be successful on your own. So you need a team. You need to share a little bit of your income, and make sure everyone is taking care of your team, and then people and owners. And basically we are fans, you know. I'm a fan of World of Women. I truly believe that's why I didn't sell it for 50,000 when I could easily. I hold it because I believed in the project, and I believe it one day maybe when will be more, or I don't know. I just believe, and I'm, you know, excited to own it. Like, I love owning.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I love what you said about just taking care of people. It's very important to look out for your community and your OG members, especially those who've been here from the beginning and are on the same mission as you. I'm grateful for the WoW team because a lot of our team members have been recruited from the community. Like we saw them, brought them for the ride, and Yam, our artist, has surrounded herself with people who are a bit more entrepreneurial than her, but she's definitely still the creative mind. So I think, like, I'm just realizing how WoW and even a project like Be Friends is such a great example of building a true business around the art that you may have created a while ago. But yeah, tell us a little bit about how WoW aligns with your personal values, or something about your life that, you know, really something that made you want to be a part of this mission.
I love women. You know, I love humans, and I love supporting women. And I think that's probably was number one. I didn't care if the project's going to be super successful. I believed in artists. I believe in art. And I think that's number one. And of course, I've seen how much you guys care about us as well, you know, and you can feel it on Discord, you can feel it on the on Twitter. So that's, I think, the community, and following fellow owners as well on Twitter, and how much everyone is proud. What?
So I said hashtag WoW follow
Yeah.
WoW. It's what the community are following.
Yes, because it's very important, and then you build a community. And I wish I would have a blue skin myself. I'm like a little avatar. And community is first. You know? Community is first, and everything else. And I love that you guys care, and that's inspiring. You know, even today, our life, you care. You want to keep bringing people. You want to keep sharing the information with the fellow WoW holders, and that's very important. That's why I'm here today, because of the community, because of what you guys want to bring to the audience and to people.
Absolutely. I think think it's very important to provide as much value as we can to community members, and a lot of it comes through the network that's existing within the community. There are so many women and even a few men in our community that are doing amazing things in person, and their stories are truly inspirational, and we want to do our best to spotlight them. And that's the main reason why we kicked off this series, and we're super grateful to have you with us. And I think the community is also like really enjoying this and enjoying like getting to know you better. So tell us a little bit of a fun fact about you, something that not a lot of people know.
Fun fact, I talk a lot. I can talk very much. But my husband always asking me like I have a question. I'm like, what? Like, do you get tired of herself? Like, you are a lot. You could just keep going. Like, I was like, what? So, and you know, the crazy part, actually, we're going to talk a little bit about a sad part about this, because I'm a very high energy person and I talk a lot and I'm an entertainer, you know, that's why I'm on the stage.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing when I was starting losing energy. That's when my husband, so it was so obvious that's how much I am always up, that he came up to me and say, hey, like, you really don't, you are not that active, like you are not that energized, like what's going on, what's up with you, you know. And that's when we found out when I had cancer. So that was my first, it's a fun part, but also was big indicator for me to get diagnosed with ovarian cancer. I know we wanted to talk about this a little bit, and I know a lot of women following us, and my main message is just don't get lazy. Just see the doctor, see the gyno, do the ultrasound, make sure every year, because doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter, it's very hard to detect ovarian cancer. So this is a little message to our women's community, because I was 33 when I got diagnosed, and everyone was shocked, because usually you get that type of cancer in later, you know, in your life. But so that's very important to go to the doctors. That's my mission, to talk about it, and everything is possible. And I also believe that any sickness we get in our life is just a lesson to learn. It's not the punishment. It's not to think about something bad. It's just about to learn something from it and just keep going.
Wow. That is a truly inspiring outlook to life, Mika. I am very inspired by you right now. And I do think that we have a tendency to overlook their health. You know, we keep procrastinating going to the doctor. We keep saying else that's more important, but there truly isn't anything more important than our own bodies and our own.
Especially we stress so much. Even holding NFTs, they going up, going up. Like, you always stressing, for real, right? And when someone wants to make money of it, right, as a collector, as they're going back and forth with selling, buying back, that's stress. So my main thing is, because we can be millionaires, we can have no money, but what we need to have, you know, it's our health, it's ourselves. So it's so important. Mental health is so important. Actual health. Even if you're young, don't think you cannot get something, you know. Just make sure. I am all about preventative care, because that saved my life and that saved my friend's life. You know, I just talked with him like that. He was my, I'm not gonna probably say, maybe he doesn't want to know, but we just had a conversation with him. And after our deep conversation about, he was like, how did you detect your cancer? We just talked about all the health. He was in his 30s as well. He went to the doctor. I inspired him. He went to the doctor, and guess what? He had cancer first stage. So little things like that, you know. If you haven't been to the doctor, doesn't matter what age you are, just go check on yourself, and just remember that mental health and your own health, it's all we have, you know. Yeah. And if you don't feel well, you just don't care about anything else, you know. You stop caring.
For sure. At any point, did you think that NFTs were too overwhelming for you, or that it was starting to affect your mental health?
I mean, yes, because that's when everyone is talking, oh my God, NFTs are dead. You know, what the heck is that? And when it builds, and you having this FOMO, you know, when you're like, oh my gosh, Should we sell it all, or why am I in this world? Am I a collector? We just want to. Do we want to make money, or do we want to hold it? Like what it. And when you go on Twitter, everyone is talking. Everyone is pumping, and I think sometimes we need to take a pause from social media and just step away and have a nice 24 hours to yourself, because when when you're so pumped or disappointed, you make mistakes because you don't think straight. Like my husband bought some stuff he shouldn't bought for a lot of money, and now he's like, oh, well, wait, I mean, I believe in the project, but it dumped really bad, like in couple days, because you don't think straight. And and I think we should always think, that's again to mental health, take a pause. If you think you're getting all stirred up, just go think about it. If in a couple hours you think the same, for me it's always just go to bed or wake up in the morning. If you feel the same, do it, but don't let crush.
Yeah. I think that's definitely one of the many ways to cope with stress like that. When we're like constantly dealing with all of these pings on Twitter and Discord, and we're checking OpenSea and we're checking the markets, it can all just, it's a lot, and it can lead to, it can lead to a lot of stress. And it's important to, yes, unwind, as you said, but also see a professional if you feel like it's getting really, really bad. Wellness and Web3 is important. We need to take care of our minds just as much as we take care of our bodies.
And don't Google symptoms, because once you Google something, dude, I did it. At the beginning I was like, oh my God, that hurt, and you overwhelm yourself. Then people scared to go to the doctor because they already freaking read, they almost like their leg gonna fall off one day. Like you just don't. I am all about, you have to find the doctor you trust, and don't talk to to your friends and they just, okay, we think this is what's going on with you. Just trust your doctor. Pick one. If you don't have it, find it. It's important. It's so interesting how we want to buy nice things, we want to do that and that. Like if something happened to our hair, we care. If something was our skin, we care. But when something is going on inside, it's no one sees it, so you all have probably time. And it's so important. I'm all about preventative care. So if you hear us, guys, please, just go check on yourself once a year. It's only one day a year, just to make sure you're good. And mental health, it's like so tricky, and it comes to you from little angle, and then you're in a dark hole and you don't know how to get out of it, and then you don't even see the light. And especially with NFTs and Web3, especially when money involved, or someone I know quit jobs to do NFTs all day long, and when everything crashed last year, everyone was like, oh my gosh. So I think it's very important to have a hobby, but also have time for yourself, go for a walk, hang out with friends. It's not all about money in this world, because I was lying down. So I've been told that I had a stage 3 cancer, and I will never be able to be a mom, that all that has to, everything has to be removed. So I had a week thinking about it, and I was like, stage 3, oh my God, I might be dead in 6 months. What if it keeps spreading and nothing's going to help? So I had all these thoughts and reevaluating my life. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I should be living more, I should be enjoying. I also audition as an actress a lot. And I was like, why was I nervous so much about audition? If I die, no one even gonna remember that this some Mika was auditioning and she forgot the line or something, And I was like, wow. And cancer really switched my thinking and the way you appreciate life, and how it's important to have a great family, how it's important to have something for yourself, and family always going to be first, and your health, and then all the fun like NFTs.
Speaking of NFTs again, though, like what is it that you're looking forward to in Web3? What's exciting for you?
I am looking for more talented people, for more artists to appear, and also I'm excited how the projects that are OG projects, how they're gonna grow, what is next for all of us, and yeah, and young talent. I really want to
Yeah.
see more and more talented people, because I feel like we got a little, like we're on a little pause, that people are scared or something. There is not that many. We have these randoms arts, but there's not as many as it used to be. Like, you know, every day something new, and like, oh wow, this one interested and this one interested. Yes, I'm all excited about to see new artwork.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think you would really like Art Fest in that case, where uh, you remember the old art drops where every month we would collaborate with artists and then
Yes, of
this
course.
year. Yeah, well, we took a lot of suggestions and feedback from our community about it, and we've revamped the entire project and rebranded it to being Art Fest.
Oh wow.
And yeah, we're collaborating with 15 different artists in the space, and we're doing it every quarter. We're doing it in sync with the moon cycle so that there's this ritual and tradition that the community can build around it. And it's essentially an interactive experience where you can claim art from these amazing artists for free. And it's limited edition, it's first come, first serve, but it's a fun little tradition that the community is building together.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's so important. I'm
Mhm.
so glad you guys doing it. It's so important to give a spotlight for young artists, because they're,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know, when person is very talented and you're always in this creative headspace, you don't think about the management, and it's so hard to think about mechanics. What do you need to succeed? Like, what do I need to do if I have a song, right? Or an art, like, where do I go, where do I sell? Like, it's like little, I feel like artists are more like little kids, very talented kids, and they need a lot of help to succeed in the business world.
Yeah. What do you have to say to the kids who don't think they're good at art? Because that's who I was when I was a kid. I was like, I cannot draw, I cannot paint, but what else can I do?
You know, the hardest part for all creative people, we all doubt ourselves, like,
Mm.
all the time. And because creating art, right after I went through cancer and all that, I decided that I'm going to open up and be really the most vulnerable I've ever been. So I'm writing my own music now for the last year and a half, and to create my album. And it's so hard to be vulnerable, because you feel like you are naked. When you create art, you feel like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna judge it. What if they don't like? What if? And I think it's all about purpose and intention. And I think there is the main thing is, why do you create art?
Mm.
Music, anything. I'm sure today a lot of people are creating something, right? And or business, anything we create, it's always to have a purpose. My purpose, I hope at least one person, if my song can make one person happy or heal, or they're gonna listen to my music and say, wow, you know, I have people keep messaging me. I've created something 15 years ago, and this soldier wrote me the other day. They said, Mika, thank you so much for your songs. They are helping me to fight.
Mhm.
And that was my person. That's why I live. That's why I'm creating. The business and everything else is gonna come, you know, if you do something from your heart and you know the purpose why you want to do it. So I think once you have a purpose creating, you just gonna, then it shifts, and you don't doubt yourself, because you know your attention to help with whatever you do. But I'm sure, you know, you go and try, and if you not that good, just learn. I'm all about learning and getting better, rehearsing. You draw something you don't like, keep drawing, but you know your mission. You want to people help with your art, you know, you have your, and it's all about purpose in our life, you know. And I will truly believe that every time you try to fake it, oh, I'm just going to do NFT so I make money, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
If you do
100%.
something just for the money, and I've been there, I've been with the money, I've been without the money, you can trust me, guys. And every time you put your soul and heart into project, that's when it's gonna, then universe helps you, then someone accidentally sees you, someone wants to help you, like with the World of Women, Gary saw it, let me give you a little pop. And then, I believe in energy as well. So only with a purpose, good attention, that's when you're gonna succeed, guys, including me.
Oh, I love that, Mika. I love that so much. And I want to give a shout out to Pertsavat, who's in the comments. She mentioned that she relates to your story a lot, and she's a moderator in the WoW community, and she's also from Ukraine. And she
Yay.
mentioned she loves your songs from 2007. So,
Oh, thank you so much.
yeah. Well, I really appreciate all the time that you've taken out today to be here with us. If you had one message to share with the WoW community, what would it be?
Take care of yourself. Remember that you need to love yourself. That's number one thing. Take care of yourself mentally and physically, and then everything else will come. Just believe in yourself and never give up on any dreams with a good purpose. Sooner or later, hard work will pay off. Also, I want to invite everyone, if you guys are in LA, I'm going to do my first live show at the Hotel Cafe on March 5th on my birthday. So if you're in Los Angeles and want to meet me, just DM me. I will give you more details, and I will perform my new songs. Very excited about it.
That's awesome. I'm sure that a bunch of people from here will be DMing you, and so will I, because we actually have a WoW meetup coming up soon, like on Feb 11th in LA.
I
And
will
I
be
think the
there.
community would love to be, yeah, they would love to meet you.
I will be there. I'm all about supporting each other, inspire each other, and we can succeed. Just remember, you cannot succeed on your own. You just can't. Don't be selfish. We need each other. We need friends. We need community. We need good people in our lives that will just help and like a little, like give you a little nudge. So
Yeah,
together we will succeed and be
absolutely.
happier.
Absolutely, yeah. I love that little bit of wisdom that you just shared with us. I'm definitely going to remember it, probably write it down on a note and put it on my wall. But thank you so much again for this. I'm truly
Thank you.
grateful. I'm
Keep
feeling
it up,
inspired.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mika.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.